The clang of tools and the steady hum of engines filled the garage that morning, a sound Malik knew better than his own heartbeat. The air smelled of oil, metal, and long hours, but beneath all that noise, something life-changing was about to unfold. Malik, only 22, leaned over an old sedan with weary eyes and grease-covered hands. He wasn't supposed to start this early, but he'd made himself a promise. No one would ever leave his shop helpless, especially not someone who reminded him of his late mother. That's when she arrived, an elderly woman, frail and trembling, her car barely holding on, and her voice filled with worry. She explained softly that her car had stopped on the way to the pharmacy and that she couldn't afford repairs until her pension came next week. Malik smiled gently. "Let me take a look, ma'am," he said. He didn't ask about money. He just saw a person in need. He fixed a small leak, changed a worn-out wire, and poured in the last bit of gas from his own canister. When the engine came to life, Mrs. Green's eyes filled with tears. She tried to hand him her last few dollars, but Malik shook his head. "Just drive safe," he whispered. He didn't know someone had been watching. His boss, Mr. Harlan, the man who believed kindness didn't pay the bills. That afternoon, Harlan stormed into the garage, his anger echoing louder than the drills. "You think this is a charity, Malik? You're here to work, not to hand out favors." His voice was sharp, his face red with fury. Malik stood silent. He tried to explain, but his boss wouldn't listen. And in a single moment of rage, Harlan fired him on the spot. The shop fell silent. Two apprentices stared in disbelief, and near the door, Mrs. Green stood frozen, clutching a small box of cookies she had brought to thank Malik. Her heart broke as she watched the young man lose everything for helping her. Malik quietly removed his gloves, placed them on the bench, and walked away, his dream of one day owning his own repair shop fading with every step. Days passed. No one would hire him. Without references, his chances were gone. The money ran out, but he kept a brave face for his younger sister, pretending everything was fine. Meanwhile, at Redline Auto Repairs, something was missing. The laughter, the warmth, the honesty Malik had brought. Customers started leaving. The place felt empty. Then, 3 days later, an unexpected visitor walked in, Mrs. Green. Her hands trembled as she approached Mr. Harlan. "Do you remember the young man you fired?" she asked softly. She told him how Malik's kindness had allowed her to visit her dying grandson that day, how she got to hold his hand one last time before he passed away. Tears filled her eyes. "He didn't just fix my car," she said. "He gave me a goodbye I'll never forget." For the first time in years, the tough old boss felt his heart crack open. That night, he couldn't sleep. Memories of his own son, lost years ago in a road accident, came flooding back. He realized how cold he had become, how blind to the kindness right in front of him. The next morning, he drove to Malik's house. The small, worn-down place reflected the struggle of the man inside. When Malik opened the door, he froze, shocked to see his old boss standing there. But this time, Harlan's voice was soft. "I was wrong," he said simply. "You taught me what this place forgot, that compassion matters." He offered Malik his job back, not as a regular mechanic, but as assistant workshop manager. Tears filled Malik's eyes. He nodded quietly. When he walked back into the shop, his coworkers erupted in applause. Even Mrs. Green was there, smiling proudly, her hands clasped in prayer. That day, engines roared again. But so did hope. Malik wasn't just fixing cars anymore. He was fixing hearts. If you believe that kindness always finds its way back, like, share, and subscribe to HOA Chronicles, where true stories remind us that goodness still exists.